Yo, yo, yo. This your boy, this your motherfucking boy, King Known Uncensored. And we are here. So, Drake, since the battle. Obviously, we know about Drake's track record before the battle. And this dude was charting high and this and that. And I just feel like all of you as a whole put too much on the Billboard Hot 100. Y'all do. And I've said this in previous videos and I'm going to say it again. Real hip-hop and hip-hop in general never cared about the charts. It was when this motherfucker started doing these astronomical numbers. By the way, I don't even view Drake as like a rapper. I view him as a pop star. And that's not disrespectful at all. And I'm not hating on the man's success at all. I'm just saying that his music isn't as great as y'all think it is. That's all I'm saying. And they want to take this as slander. Okay, so right now we looking at during the battle. You got Push-Ups and Family Matters. Push-Ups is platinum and so is Family Matters, by the way. So Wikipedia did not update this. We calling it fair. We calling a square. We gonna call everything fair. You My Everything with Sexy Red is gold. And this was released right after the battle ended. Then, I don't understand, why are people missing Drake? I want to know something. Why y'all missing this nigga? He been putting out music. Do y'all want me to go ahead and show y'all the list of the music that he's put out? Let's do that first before we get back here. These are a list of songs that Drake has put out since the rap battle. He released multiple 3-track EPs. He released them on a website called 100 Gigs, but Universal was like, you releasing music without our consent? You're a Universal artist. Break me off. Let me get this motherfucking paper, dog. Lucy and Grange on the line. Now you know damn well we need a piece of this. So he released Circadian Rhythm, flop. Housekeeping Knows, flop. It's Up, flop. Blue, Green, and Red, flop. No Face, flop. Super Soap, flop. The 2 records he released with Camila Cabello, flop. The 2 songs he did with Gordo was a flop. Juan Guan Delilah was a flop. Fighting Irish Freestyle is a flop. 2 Mazza was a flop. What Did I Miss is a flop because, yeah, it debuted at number 2, but it's not gold certified. And I did my research on this. If I haven't done the research in like a month, I haven't had an update in a month. But last month I checked into the numbers, it's not gold. Which one was Central C? Y'all forgot about this song. These are the singles that are supposed to be for Iceman, by the way, that I'm saying. He put out What Did I Miss? It flopped. He put out Which One? It flopped. It slid expeditiously off the charts too. It wasn't like some shit that was on there for like 5 to 10 weeks. It was worse than that. It was like much, it slid fast than a motherfucker. Y'all not supporting Drake. Y'all not playing the music. What do you mean you miss Drake? What do you mean the game ain't been the same since Drake? Drake is outside. What are y'all talking about? Why y'all trying to make it seem like Drake's not putting out any music? There isn't any songs for the ladies. He put out a whole album with Party Next Door called Some Sexy Songs for You. He did that. What is this narrative that y'all trying to drive home here? Drake has been active ever since the battle. Y'all acted like the battle stopped Drake from making music, and it didn't. Okay. Then 2 Mazza. That shit was a flop. Then he dropped Some Sexy Songs for You, which contained hits. There were hits on this album. We'll get to that. But we're talking about the songs that he dropped for Iceman right now. What Did I Miss? Flop. Which One was a flop? Doghouse was a flop. That's just how I feel. A flop. Somebody Loves Me remix. This was for Some Sexy Songs for You. And they combined the total sales of the remix and the original. So that song is platinum. And then he dropped a song called Supermax, which was the last song that he released. Now, getting back to the charts. Okay, so Give Me a Hug is gold. Give Me a Hug was a decent record. And for that to go gold is concerning. This is a guy that is used to making double platinum hits on the regular in his sleep. There is no denying that there is a decline. There's no denying that. Nokia is triple platinum. Somebody Loves Me with the remix, just like I said, they combine the sales, so it's platinum. The original was gold. Die Trying, which is probably the best song out of this whole thing. That's the best song in my opinion. That song is platinum. Okay, that was last year. So, y'all talking about we miss Drake, we need songs for the summer. He gave y'all songs last summer. What are you talking about? What did I miss? Y'all not playing. What did I miss? Which one was Central C? Sounded like a summer record. That shit is gold outside of America, but it's not gold in America. And Doghouse was number 39 and slid off. Which one debuted at number 4? And it's not a gold record in America. And it's supposed to be Afro beats and shit. Motherfuckers, Afro beats still popping right now. And he flopped. And then let's get this shit real clear. Let's get it real clear. When I speak on flop, I'm not talking about something that didn't go gold. Even though, if you're an artist that's on Drake's level, that sells the amount of copies that Drake sells, anything that Drake puts out as a single that, doesn't, get certified, it's a flop. Because Drake is known as the guy that sells a bunch of records. He's known as that guy that holds all the chart positions. Nobody cared about charts like Drake, his fans, and his supporters. And then when the shit is flipped around and he's not charting as much and we're starting to notice and have concern, it's hating. Yeah, you see, this is Hot Uptown, the Camila Cabello record. Flop. No certification. Sideways. I saw a nigga tell me, like, everything that's released isn't meant to chart. I just heard nothing but excuses. This is the chart man. This is like saying that Reggie Miller shot 25% from 3 for a whole season. That's what it's like. It's like Reggie Miller shooting 25% from 3. 3-point shots is what Reggie Miller does. That's how he make his living, shooting threes. Drake make his living on the charts. And Drake ain't been missing at all. And that's the killer part. Like, and then the crazy part, Drake went on that Anita Max Win tour. He went on tour twice. And the tour flopped. As big of an artist that Drake is, and for his tour to be flopping, it's concerning. It's a clear decline. Like Sideways, Gordo. Remember we talked about Gordo? Flop. Tu Maza. That's the record with Smiley. Flop. Let me see if there's anything else that we can find that was released after the rap battle. Okay, and then we had these other records from Some Sexy Songs for You. See, these are the records that I was talking about. This is what I was talking about. We got CN Tower going gold. These are all the records from Some Sexy Songs for You. Some Sexy Songs for You was a successful project despite the lack of promotion from, well, I'm not going to say lack of promotion because I think Universal did their job. Drake, we used to see in triple platinum and quadruple platinum and such. And 1.7 million, that's a flop for artists as far as like caliber artist that Drake is. Y'all put him on that pedestal. We expect pedestal results. But anyway, we talked about circadian rhythm. You mean to tell me you got a record with Young Thug and 21 Savage, no certification. Blue, Green, Red, no certification. Housekeeping Knows with Lotto. Lotto was hot. 72 debut, peaked at 72. Circadian Rhythm, No Face. These are singles with Drake. No Face came out in 2018, that bitch would have hit. And then Mr. Recoup, which with 21 Savage, who he's had success with, flop. Meanwhile, if we go up to Drake's prime, let's check it out. Let's see what we see. Look at that. Look at Drake prime, y'all. Platinums. 5 times platinum and shit. And this is a record that was on Drake's worst album, by the way. 5 times platinum. Look at this. They don't have all of the American certifications, but if you actually look it up, and these are album cuts that I'm on, by the way. I'm just giving y'all examples about how all of this nigga songs was bare minimum platinum or double platinum. I'm just using that as an example. But there is a decline, for sure. And then, you know what I'm saying, the records that he released that were by himself. A lot of people said, but he put out an album with Drake, they're acting like he hasn't released any songs. Why ain't you playing his songs? Why ain't you listening to No Face? Why ain't you listening to Circadian Rhythm, Housekeeping Knows, It's Up? Why ain't y'all listening to the Camila Cabello records? Why are y'all not listening to What Did I Miss? Why are y'all not supporting Drake? I thought Drake was your man. He had the songs for the summer and he put out the singles and stuff. Why ain't y'all vibing? He always brought out the vibes. And then all these people talking about it's clearly a paid narrative to push. Drake is paying people to say these things. Drake is sending motherfuckers the stimulus package all over again, but in the form of media. This is media propaganda. That if you get 15 to 20 people to say the same thing, then the young and less impressionable and the people that are easy to manipulate will get on board with your narrative that you push. People don't miss Drake at all because he's been making music. He's been dropping singles. Y'all ain't supporting it. Y'all ain't listening to it. Y'all ain't buying the singles. Y'all not streaming the singles. Y'all not putting these songs, y'all not listening to these songs enough for these songs to chart high. If you want to use the hip hop not being on the charts excuse, why ain't y'all listening to it? Why don't y'all put more Drake songs on the charts? Why is he not charting? Now, I do attribute that also to the new chart rules, which I'm going to go get. Let me see the chart rules. Let me find the screenshots. See, these rules play a major role in why hip-hop's not on the charts, because if the rules were the original rules, a lot of Kendrick Lamar songs would be on the charts, and a couple of Drake's would probably still be on there too. But this rule right here changed everything, as I explained in my previous video. But I'm trying to show y'all that Drake been out here. He been putting out music. It's ass. His music has been ass. And y'all not supporting the boy. Y'all not putting y'all support behind him. All of these people complaining are not listening to his music. These people are being paid to push a narrative. That's it. And the fans, since they're so dumb and they're a bunch of fanboys that probably have a sexual attraction to Drake, y'all motherfuckers will hop on the narrative because it's supporting your boy. Which, I'm not mad at you. I mean, I get support your boy, but support your boy then. Put his songs back on the charts. If y'all want to gang up on Kendrick fans and gang up on all of Drake's ops and things of that nature, why don't you put that same energy into listening and buying his music then? Y'all motherfuckers want to have y'all cake and eat it too, no Diddy. But then again, it is a Diddy, because a lot of y'all are fruity. But a lot of y'all want to twist the narratives in all different types of directions, like we not gonna see it happening. Like we see what y'all doing, and it's not working. Drake's recent music isn't as good as it once was. That's the issue. And I just can't stand that narrative that Drake drop a summer song. Play his old music. It's a simple solution. If you miss Drake, then play it. Request it at the club. Request it on the radio. Do what we used to do when we were trying to push, our favorite underground artist. Why don't y'all do that? Since y'all want to complain so much. I hate people that don't complain all the time, but don't do shit about it. Like, I'm gonna listen to Dot. I'm gonna stream Dot shit. I'm gonna buy all Dot shit. You know what I mean? I'm just using Kendrick as an example. But I'm just saying, bro, y'all motherfuckers, man, y'all are weird. And something is wrong with a lot of y'all. Hip-hop was never meant to be commercial in the first place. Hip-hop became commercial in the old days because labels were putting big money behind hip-hop because it was the biggest trend. And now that a lot of people don't understand Kendrick's, a lot of people blaming Kendrick for, why hip-hop is going bad and why hip-hop's off the charts. This is a cleansing. This is a cleansing of mediocre rap. You know what I'm saying? Hip-hop is supposed to be for the underground and for the streets. You remember the song EPMD Crossover? Listen to that song. That's what we mean by hip-hop. You know what I mean? Hip-hop wasn't really supposed to cross over. It just happened to cross over. And now that it's not crossing over anymore, hip-hop is reinventing itself. And it's a lot of great hip-hop albums out. I don't understand, what are we missing here? Like, if you miss Drake so bad, why don't you write him and tell him to make a hit? Make a hit, because I don't even think he's on Billboard Top 100 right now. Because y'all not supporting him. Because y'all figured out who he truly was. He's a fraud. And I think a lot of the Drake decline was due to the battle, because a lot was exposed about Drake during that battle. And I'm not talking about the PDF shit, because he hasn't, just like he said, he hasn't been arrested. I would have been arrested. He hasn't been charged with anything, but he does have weird behavior and stuff. But that's rap battle shit. Battle rap, you're supposed to say the craziest shit about somebody, whether it's true or not. Whether it's a lie or not. It's all about who's had the best strategy, who had the best bars, who had the most quotables, and Dot had the most. But the battle did not kill hip-hop. It definitely helped hip-hop more because hip-hop was still on the charts. You know, Euphoria, Family Matters, all of those battle songs except The Heart Part 6 and 616 in LA, those songs were successful. Those were all platinum or better records. So how did it do harm to rap? I don't understand. Not like Us Is Diamond. That did more help for hip-hop than harm. And then, you know, I heard that a lot of artists were afraid to put out their albums because, you know what I mean, people set the bar high. Kendrick, Clips, you know, that album set the bar like really high, so people were afraid of dropping their mediocre albums. Like, you look at a nigga like 21 Savage, like, he flopped. Because I don't think his new album is gold at all, because 21 Savage used to go on platinum or better. And this dude could barely claw the gold. Even though he kind of needed the bots to help his first week out, he flopped. So you could tell that they're weeding out a certain type of music. But I could talk about this shit all day. I just wanted to show y'all that Drake been outside. Drake been dropping songs. Y'all ain't been listening, or secretly y'all motherfuckers are afraid to say that these songs are whack. These songs not hitting. Y'all want to just remain in denial like he's not dropping music, and y'all just want to cancel out the work that he put out in 2025 and 2026. That's all y'all trying to do. And none of that new shit is hitting. So my suggestion to y'all is listen to his songs. Throw a party and play all his songs. But this King Don't Uncensored, man, and I'm out.